Hello, my dear students. Welcome to my today's online class on one more topic in paper 6 of semester 5 zoology, that is genetics and biotechnology of Bangalore City University. Now we will be discussing about the session 11, which is a topic under deviation from Mendelism, where we will be discussing about Y-linked inheritance, taking the example of hypertrichosis in man. Okay, and to introduce myself, I am Dr. MEERA B K, working as Associate Professor of Zoology in Maharani Science College for Women, Palace Road, Bangalore 1. So we shall start our class now. Now, you can see here the plate, showing the photograph of three men. You observe on their ears, ear pinna, okay? You can see predominantly the hair being present, right? In all the three cases. And this sort of hair being present on the ears, you don't see in females, right? So this particular condition is called hypertrichosis, okay? And as it is sex limited, it is called, it comes under Y-linked inheritance pattern, and it is called hypertrichosis in man. We are going to discuss about inheritance of Y-linked genes, okay, with the example of hypertrichosis. Now, so to remind you a few things, physical association of two or more genes on a chromosome, is called linkage. You say the genes are linked if there is physical association. And if these genes, which are always associated with sex chromosomes, either X chromosome or Y chromosome, then you call these genes as sex-linked genes. And the condition in which a particular gene is located on a sex chromosome, especially on the X chromosome, so that the character is controlled by the gene is associated with either of the sexes, then it is called sex linkage, because you find double set of X chromosome in females and in single dose in males, and therefore if the gene is particularly present on X chromosome and if the character is controlled by the gene that is associated with either of the sexes, either male or female, then it is called sex linkage. And the genes which are located on Y chromosomes are called Y-linked genes or holandric genes, and the genes which are located on X chromosome are called X-linked genes or sex-linked genes, okay? So, genes which are located on X chromosomes are called X-linked genes or sex-linked genes. On the other hand, the genes which are located on Y chromosome are called Y-linked genes or holandric genes. Andric means male, right? Holandric genes. And sometimes certain genes are found to occur both X and Y chromosomes, and such genes are called incomplete sex-linked genes. So you should become thorough with three concepts here: sex-linked genes or X-linked genes, Number 2, Y-linked genes or holandric genes. And number 3, incomplete sex-linked genes. With this background information, we shall just try to study hypertrichosis in humans. Okay. So what are the objectives of our class? Learning objectives being, you should know the term Hollandric inheritance. You should understand the inheritance of Y-linked gene, inheritance pattern. Then you should understand the pattern of inheritance of genes through Y chromosome. You should know the genes present on Y chromosome, and you should be able to develop the skill of drawing pedigree charts. Okay. Then once we are done with the class, you will become familiar with what all goals that I have told you to achieve. Then, so let us now start our class. Y-linked inheritance. Physical association of two or more genes are called linkage. Okay. Then you can see the karyotype of humans. This is the normal karyotype. I mean karyotype of a normal human being. And since you find one X chromosome and one Y chromosome, invariably this is the karyotype of a male. Okay. Then, so if you want to know that concept of linking, in the first diagram you can see two genes being present adjacent to each other, which are physically linked, gene 1 and gene 2. And in the second set, there are a pair of chromosomes. Gene 1 is on one chromosome and gene 2 is on the other chromosomes. They are not linked. In the third one, the two genes are present on the same chromosome, but they are far apart and therefore not linked. And only in the first case, the two genes are linked. All right. Now, so in man, sex chromosomes X and Y are of unequal size and shape. X is larger and rod shaped, Y is smaller and slightly curved. So these plates will tell you the concept of a karyotype and give some idea regarding how the genes will be linked. Okay. Then, so there are three types of sex-linked genes depending upon their association with particular chromosome. Number 1, if the genes are located on X chromosomes, they are called X-linked genes or sex-linked genes. And in the second case, the genes are associated with Y chromosome and they are called Y-linked genes or Hollandric genes. And certain genes occur in both X and Y chromosomes. Such genes are called incomplete sex-linked genes. Three concepts you should know. Now, coming to Y linkage, also known as Hollandric inheritance, this describes the traits that are produced by genes located on the Y chromosome. It is a type of sex linkage. Okay. So, Hollandric inheritance tells you about the traits that are produced by genes which are located on the Y chromosome. For a trait to be considered as Y linkage, it should exhibit three characters. Number 1, it should occur only in males. Number 2, it should appear in all sons of males who exhibit these traits. From males to male, the gene is carried over, and it is absent from daughters of trait carriers. Instead, the daughters are phenotypically normal and do not have affected offspring. So, if these three characteristics are met with, then you can consider that particular linkage as Y linkage. Okay? Then, so now let us talk about hypertrichosis in man, which is best example for Y-linked inheritance. You do find such Hollandric genes in other animals also, like Drosophila, Barbs in male Drosophila is again a Y-linked inheritance similar to hypertrichosis in man. Okay. Then hypertrichosis, what exactly it is? Phenotypically, how you understand this? Excessive growth of hair on a particular area of the body which is abnormal for the age, sex or race of an individual, and if it is hypertrichosis pinnae oris, if the hypertrichosis trait is present on the ear pinna, right, or in common language we call it hairy ears, okay, then it is hypertrichosis pinnae oris, okay. So presence of excessive coarse black hair on the auricle of human ear is referred to as hypertrichosis or pinnae oris. And genes in the homologous region of Y chromosome are inherited directly from male to male, therefore it is a male linked character, okay. So in humans, Y linked, okay, or Hollandric genes for hypertrichosis are transmitted directly from father to son because males inherit the Y chromosome from father and there is no way that females can get Y chromosome, right? And female inherits only X chromosome from the father and therefore they are not affected. This is the basic concept of Y-linked inheritance, okay. So you can see the plate here, you can see three men. Observe their ear pinnae, you can see abnormal growth of hair, right. This is not detrimental or lethal, but it is seen, right. It is an abnormal phenotype. Then, so here is one more plate. Here is a male and a female. And male is a hypertrichosis man, affected father, right? You can see the blue dot on the Y chromosome, whereas the mother is unaffected, she is normal. When they produce children, you can see that both the sons are affected, okay? And both the daughters are normal. So this is how the inheritance pattern goes. Then let me show you this pedigree chart. By now you must be knowing what is a pedigree chart and how to write it. There is a separate session for that where it will be discussed in detail. You can see here the pedigree chart showing inheritance of hypertrichosis in man. The square, blank square is a normal male, then black square is hypertrichosis male, and round is a normal female. Blank, unshaded, round is a normal female. You can see in the first generation, the male is a hypertrichosis person, is married to a normal female, and when they produce the children, both the sons, two sons are hypertrichosis, okay, and when they get married again, you can see the inheritance pattern wherein the males are hypertrichosis phenotype, males have hypertrichosis phenotype, and if the daughter is married to a normal male, they will get males without any hypertrichosis, right? So this is how the chart goes, okay. So the couple produce 4 daughters, right, like this, and the inheritance patterns goes like this. This is how we have to draw the pedigree chart. Then this is a same pedigree chart showing inheritance of hypertrichosis for 4 generations. All right. Here are 2 couple. So in both, the male is a hypertrichosis person, and how the inheritance takes place, you can see here. Then, coming to the session summary, you have understood about Hollandric inheritance, Y chromosome linkage, and you have understood about hypertrichosis, what exactly it is, and you have understood the pedigree charts and how the hypertrichosis is inherited directly from male to male, right, and the reason for it. So now it is the time for us to discuss few assessment questions. Question number 1 is physical association of 2 or more genes are called linkage, crossing over, crisscross and inheritance. Answer invariably is A, that is linkage. Question number 2, Y linkage is also known as male linkage, Hollandric inheritance, holopatric inheritance, hologonic linkage, and the answer is invariably, answer is Hollandric inheritance, that is B. Then question number 3, an excessive development of hairs on hair, you don't find hairs in English, hair means plural only, okay. An excessive development of hair on pin of the ear is called sickle cell anemia, hypertrichosis, hypotrichosis and phenylketonuria, and the answer is C, hypertrichosis. Then question number 4, Y chromosome are inherited directly from male to male, female to male, female to female, male to male, and answer is invariably D, that is from male to male. Then assessment question 5, female inherits only dash sex chromosome from father, only X, only Y, both X and Y, only autosomes. So answer is invariably A, only X chromosome. My dear students, till now I have discussed with you about the Hollandric inheritance, taking the example of hypertrichosis in humans, right? So I have discussed assessment questions also, and these are some of the references, okay. So, and it is the time for me to wind up my lecture. Thank you for your attention. Thanks for your patient hearing. See you in the next session. Till then, stay blessed.